Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video that I'm dropping tonight is about information that's been coming out in the past 2 days about what's been going on with some voter fraud going on, voter suppression in Pennsylvania. Some of the voting drop boxes in Oregon and Washington State have been destroyed. Somebody's gone in and basically torched them. Okay. Also, there seems to be some backlash from, I guess, from the mainstream media. Well, I shouldn't say backlash, but it's like they're not really talking about it, as if they're just trying to basically hope that it disappears, that nobody would ask questions. But everything just seems very, very fishy. Okay. Not to mention, I also have a clip that I came across this morning, but supposedly the clip came out over the weekend. Again, it wasn't really talked about, but now it's hitting the airwaves today. Something that the New York Post put out, a video of how strange that polling numbers already came out. Okay, and if you haven't seen it yet, I'll show it to you, so bear with me so you can see what's going on. And now people are trying to backtrack on that, saying that it was an error. The thing about that is, how could it be an error if election day is not here? Okay, so for a lack of time, I'm going to try to jump to all these little clips that I got, and there's also some video footage put out by Redacted that I want to show, okay, about what's going on in Pennsylvania, the way they're trying to suppress Trump supporters from voting, or voters in general. Some people say it's all Trump supporters, and it's not just a couple. It's not a couple dozen. It seems like it's hundreds. Okay, and not only are they trying to do that, the local law enforcement is involved also. But we're going to get to all that right quickly. Before I continue, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. So, and also I'm leaving a link in the description to Loza Alexander's Gifts and Go campaign once again. So with all that being said, let's get into these news clips, because it's definitely not by the mainstream media. It's by local media from what I've seen so far, which I find very strange, but at the same time, it's not surprising. Here we go.
An investigation is underway after fires were set in ballot boxes in Portland and Vancouver, Washington this morning. This comes after another ballot box fire in Vancouver 3 weeks ago, and police believe the fires are all connected. Emily Gersh with our sister station is live in Vancouver now with the very latest for us. Emily?
Yeah, well, this is a brand new ballot box here at the Fisher's Landing Transit Center, but we spoke with a lot of people today who wanted to personally hand their ballot to someone at the elections office after seeing what happened.
And just saw the news today on K2 that they burnt the ballots. So I went, I'm not taking any chances. I just dropped my ballot.
A lot of people voting in person at the Clark County Elections Office Monday after seeing this video.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that our vote got counted and that we didn't have to get a new ballot or anything.
Firefighters salvaged what ballots they could after hundreds went up in flames Monday morning.
Hundreds. Yeah, we don't have an exact number at this point. Probably never will have an exact number.
Clark County Auditor Greg Kimsey says the ballot box that was vandalized was brand new and had a fire suppression device inside, but apparently it didn't work. The last time ballots were picked up from the box was Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. Kimsey says at this point in the election, ballots are retrieved from ballot boxes every day except Sunday.
We are modifying our ballot retrieval schedule and encouraging voters to deposit their ballots before 5:30 in the evening.
Meanwhile, the elections office has no way of knowing which ballots were destroyed in the fire, and they're counting on voters to come forward, which Kimsey acknowledges is the biggest problem.
Not everybody's tuned into the local news world.
Valerie Davis said she usually puts her ballot.
You know, it's funny that he would say something like that. Now, today's Thursday. This was put out it says right here, this was put out 2 days ago by this news report. So if this happened Sunday, today's Thursday, that gives Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for everybody to whoever dropped their ballot last Sunday, this Sunday past, for them to try to get in contact and try to recast their votes. You know, I find it hard to believe that this isn't all over the mainstream media, so like that more people can get engaged. This is only being put out by the local news, you know, and it's hard to tell at this point, like, who exactly dropped their vote in. But at the same time, that shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter who dropped it, whether you're voting Democrat or Republican. This is something that should be all over the media, so like that people could be aware. But obviously, it's not. Okay, you have the mainstream media focusing on a damn joke that was said at a Trump rally in Madison Square Garden. That's all you keep hearing. And another comment that Trump made that wasn't even a bad comment, but I'll try to get into that tomorrow. But you know, I just don't understand why this isn't plastered all over the media, so people can go and find out if it was one of their ballots that was destroyed. It's incredible.
In that box.
And what worries me about Cascade Park is it's in close proximity to Fairway Village, which is where seniors are.
She's worried about how this will impact them.
There may be a lot of people that don't even know their ballots won't be counted. And that concerns me.
Yeah, and that right there, so it's safe to say that a lot of the ballots were put out by senior citizens, and if they're not up to date on what's going on and nobody's telling them, and you know, that means that if any of their ballots got destroyed, their vote is not going to count. You know, and like I said, you would think that this would be plastered all over the media. I mean, you know, this wasn't 10 or 15 ballots. They're saying it was hundreds of ballots. Okay? Hundreds of ballots can sway an election. I mean, I'm just not understanding why this isn't all over the news. Okay, but there are other things that are in the news, and we'll get into that right now. Here we go. Now, this news clip is supposedly about some fraudulent voter forms caught in Monroe County. Check this out.
The Monroe County District Attorney has launched an investigation after the Board of Elections says it identified suspicious voter registrations and mail-in ballot forms. Election workers say about 30 forms were fraudulent as the people on the applications didn't authorize them. On at least one form, the applicant was deceased. Several of the applications were traced to a company, Field and Media Corps, an Arizona-based organization working out of Lancaster County.
Now, the funny thing about this, people, that is a 26-second clip on the news about voter fraud. And this is what gets me, that the left is always talking about that voting, that there's no voter fraud, that it's all in everybody's head, that it's something that Donald Trump and the right are putting out. But when you have a news outlet putting out a 26-minute clip, okay, of voter fraud, intentional voter fraud, how exactly is anybody supposed to believe what's coming out of the left's mouth? It's incredible, but there's more. Let's continue.
Craft. Like I said, hope you had a good weekend. What we want to do right now, we want to go out to the Pacific Northwest. This is a story I know that a lot of you are talking about, a lot of you are following right now. Take a look at some of this video, though. Okay, so this is what we know, according to the Associated Press. Authorities, including the FBI, were investigating today after early morning fires were set in ballot drop boxes in Portland, Oregon, and in nearby Vancouver, Washington, where hundreds of ballots were destroyed there. Now, the Portland Police Bureau reported officers and firefighters responded to a fire in one ballot drop box. This was around 3:30 in the morning. They determined an incendiary device had been placed inside. Now, the Multnomah County Elections Director, his name, Tim Scott, he said a fire suppressant inside of the drop box protected nearly all the ballots. Only 3 of them were damaged, and his office planned to contact those voters to help them obtain replacement ballots. Now,
so they
a few hours later, though, I want to put up some new video here. Take a look at this. Across the Columbia River in Vancouver, TV crews captured footage of smoke pouring out of a ballot box at a transit center. Vancouver is the biggest city in Washington's 3rd congressional district,
How
the
quaint.
site of what is expected to be one of the closest U.S. House races in the country between first-term Democratic Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp Perez and Republican challenger Joe Kent. This is a rematch from 2022 here. Yeah, even more video we have. Let's take it there, you see. Now, officials held a news conference after authorities said these early morning fires were set in these ballot drop boxes in both Portland, Oregon, and nearby Vancouver, Washington, where hundreds of ballots were destroyed here. And in this press conference, authorities do believe that these two incidents are related, are connected. Let's listen.
And again, we collected it through the Metro Explosive Disposal Unit. These incidents are similar in nature. No one was injured in any of these incidents. We're working with our partners across the river here in Portland and sharing information with our federal law enforcement partners in hopes of bringing this to a successful conclusion. Questions?
Good afternoon, Assistant Chief Amanda McMillan, Portland Police. Just a couple of quick comments and then we'll take questions at the end. We really just want to acknowledge the heightened emotion around this event as we build up to the election. We're acutely aware going into the election how folks are feeling, and then events like this with the damage at ballot boxes. Just want to emphasize that we're dedicated to work collaboratively with all of our partners here, federal partners, the county, Vancouver PD, and the Sheriff's Office working to resolve these cases. We do have an investigator working the leads in this case. We don't know the motive behind these acts. It sounds like a series of 3 at this point.
I don't understand this. What do you mean you don't know the motive behind it? It's obviously somebody trying to destroy ballots. That's basically what it is. I mean, you can't be that ignorant to come out and make a statement like that. We don't know what the motive is. Everybody knows what the damn motive is. The motive is that somebody's going out there just torching ballot boxes. Now, it could be from anybody. It could be from the left or the right. That doesn't matter. What matters is that this cannot happen. Okay? In this country, there should be free and fair elections. Nobody on the left or on the right should be going destroying ballots. Plain and simple. Now, it says down here that the suspect's vehicle is ID'd after fire set to ballot boxes. My thing is, did they get a license plate and, have they tracked this person down to find out what's going on? And if they did, how come they haven't put out a statement? Okay? I mean, this obviously happened. I believe they said that, in my opinion, I think it was Sunday, because they said they'd pick up all the ballots on Saturday. So obviously, this had to happen on Sunday because they don't do any pickups on Sunday. So if you found out that day, obviously you got the camera footage. Maybe you found out Monday. Today's Thursday. That gives you 3 days to find out who's who. Okay? And what I really find strange is that, they were able to track people down that went down to the rally on January 6th. I mean, all the way to get into their houses and arresting them, and within a couple of days. You mean to tell me that you can't find out who's doing this? Especially if you have, if you ID'd a suspect's vehicle? Unbelievable. But let's continue.
We do know that acts like this are targeted and they're intentional, and we're concerned about that intentional act trying to affect the election process. We're dedicated to stopping that kind of behavior, and we're working toward that today. Finally, I just wanted to end with, it is an active investigation. We're following up on the leads that we developed. We're going to have additional information I think Mike's going to share with us here later today. There's a limited amount of information that we can share because it's an ongoing investigation. So I just want to say thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate you being here and sharing what we're doing to resolve these. Thank you, guys.
I'll leave this at that because I got to get to the next video. But in all honesty, I didn't even check exactly where these boxes were and what's the demographic of the areas. But if I had to guess, in all honesty, somebody is trying to keep some political official out from being from taking over. Okay, now I know that they said that it's a Democrat that's going up against a Republican. That can go either way. Okay, but I mean, for somebody to just come out and do this, obviously they're trying to keep somebody from taking a position in these areas. Okay, I mean, because everybody knows Washington and Oregon and Portland, that's all blue. So I highly doubt somebody is trying to destroy ballots from Democrats because they're trying to flip the states red. I mean, I just don't see that happening. I don't believe there's enough Republican voters in order to do that. But obviously somebody is on the ticket that somebody's trying to destroy ballots so that person doesn't get elected. Now, if it's a small, like I always talk about the small vote, it's probably so a Republican doesn't get in. I don't know if that's just my opinion. I don't know. But I guess we'll find out. And if we don't find out, if they do find out who did it and they don't put out a release right away, why do I have this funny feeling that whoever's doing it was on the left side trying to destroy ballots? That's just my opinion. We'll see, in the next day or two. They're going to have to come up with something quick, okay, because election day is just a couple of days away, a few days away, I should say. But with that being said, before I play the video clip I want to play by Redacted, I'm going to show you, I don't know if I should play either, or you know what, I'll play the video clip by Redacted so you guys can get a setup on what's going on in Pennsylvania. Here we go.
Happening in Pennsylvania, super shady stuff. That's exactly what's going on. Let's run it down. So first we have another assassination plot unfolding in Penn State area, which we just talked about. Then multiple districts attorney, would you say, when you say attorneys general, would you say districts attorney, or you would say district attorneys, I guess?
The attorneys bit is plural.
Okay, so attorneys, district attorneys. Multiple have now reported thousands of fraudulent mail-in ballots were received in Pennsylvania, and they're investigating these. And I think they said about 70% of those mail-in ballots that they were investigating had they found to be fraudulent. Thousands of them. So this is from. Now
I'm going to cut it real quick. I was trying to look for the video that I was watching last night. I can't remember if I saved it on my iPad. It was late, but I could have sworn I came across a video where they said that up to I think it was 200,000 ballots or 250,000 ballots were illegitimate. Okay, I can't remember the state. I'm going to try to find that tonight. If I do, I'll drop that in the video tomorrow. But it just seems as if in the states where Kamala needs to win, there are problems. There are problems with the voting. There's problems with the voting machines going on now. You got people in Oregon and in Washington burning ballots. It's like, why is it that people just can't leave these elections alone? If you are so sure that your candidate is going to win, why would you take it upon yourself to go and do this? I don't think anybody individually, like some civilians doing this just because they want to. I truly feel that they're being put up to it, that people are being sent, okay, to just basically try to mess up this election because Kamala Harris is like really tanking in the polls. That's just my opinion, and in all honesty, that's what I truly believe. But let's continue.
From the district attorney's mouth. This isn't us, YouTube, if you're paying attention. This is from the district attorneys in Pennsylvania saying this. Now reports coming in from all over Pennsylvania of large-scale voter fraud operations and poll workers and police telling people, go home. Hey, it's 1 in the afternoon, 1:45 p.m. I know this polling location is supposed to be open until 5 p.m., but go home. Go home because you can't vote today. This isn't some conspiracy theory. Again, they are sounding the alarm on this, most notably in Lancaster County, and we also had Bucks County, where these incidents are occurring. Former President Trump warned that Democrats have already launched efforts to steal the 2024 election, declaring they've already started cheating, he said, in Pennsylvania. And he said if you have a mail-in ballot...
And now here's the thing, people, in case you don't know, the 7 swing states are pretty much all swinging to Trump. Now they're saying in order for Kamala Harris to have any kind of chance, she would definitely have to win Pennsylvania. Okay? But even if she wins Pennsylvania, it's not going to matter because supposedly if Trump gets the other 6 out of the 7 swing states, it's a wrap. Or if he gets like 2 or 3, it's a wrap. Like if he gets Michigan and or obviously Pennsylvania, and there was like two other ones. But like, what is the coincidence? Okay, that Kamala Harris needs to win Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania, out of all places, in broad daylight, in everybody's face, is trying to change how voting is done these past couple of days. Check this out. It's going to blow your mind.
Get that damn ballot in, please, he said, immediately, because they've already started cheating in Lancaster, he said. Watch.
We've set an all-time record in the early voting, by the way, so if you have a mail-in ballot, get that damn ballot in, please, immediately, because they've already started cheating in Lancaster. They've cheated. We caught them with 2,600 votes. Now we caught them cold, 2,600 votes. Think of this. And every vote was written by the same person. I wonder how that happened.
Check that out.
It must be a coincidence.
Yeah. So he also posted then on X, wow, York County, Pennsylvania received thousands of potentially fraudulent voter registration app forms and mail-in ballot applications from a third-party group. This is on top of Lancaster County being caught with 2,600 fake ballots and forms, all written by the same person.
Unbelievable.
Really bad stuff. He says, what is going on in Pennsylvania? Law enforcement must do their job immediately. Wow. I'm from the Keystone State, and I'm pretty upset about this crap, the craziness that's happening there right now. Then you have these reports of Democrats dressing up as voter protection poll workers, telling Republicans who are lined up by the hundreds, sorry, we're closed, you're not going to be able to vote today. Watch.
Yeah,
so
right.
Take a look at this. So these voter protection roll badges on the left-hand side of your screen, and these...
I'm sorry, but I voted last week, and there was no voter protection people out there. There was just one guy standing at the door, letting in, I believe it was 9 or 10 people at a time, and then when they were done, then he let more in. And you just walked in, showed them your ID, showed them your voter registration card. They gave you a ballot. You filled it out. You put it right into the machine. After the machine accepted it, it said that it was accepted. It was like a green check, I believe, or something like that. And they were like, okay, have a good day. And they gave you a sticker. There's voter protection people, like, I've never heard of this. But leave it up to the Democrats to come out with some dumb shit, okay? Just to suppress people's votes. And meanwhile, the Democrats are the ones fighting, saying that Trump, okay, and the Republicans are going back to a Jim Crow era where they are suppressing black people, okay, American black people and Latinos from voting. So then what do you call this? If these are all Republican voters, why are you stopping them from voting? Okay? And there's a reason why in Lancaster, why they're trying to stop the votes, which is going to blow your mind. Check this out.
Massive long lines for people to wait to get in, being told, nah, you're done. We're closed. You can't vote today. If you're in PA, by the way, and you see these people wearing these badges at polling places, I'm telling you, stay. If they're telling you to go home, stay in line.
Exactly.
It's your constitutional duty. You have the authority to stay in line.
You got that right.
Vote.
Well, beyond that, I would say document it. Now, I did an interview on Monday. This piece hasn't done that well on Redacted, and I think that it's suppressed because exactly the content that he says. So the interview is with J. Christian Adams. He's a former Justice Department lawyer who specifically worked in the voter fraud section, and this is exactly the kind of cases that the Justice Department is supposed to work on. They have 94 lawyers right now that are supposed to be sniffing this out and litigating it. Type of voter intimidation. Now, because we labeled that segment "voter fraud is real" or something to that effect, it's not being viewed all that much. But listen, what he says is that there is a very lucrative type of industry called voter fraud denial, and so we should have known that it would suppress a video like that. So I'm asking you to look into that, share it, and then if you then read his book, this is exactly the kind of thing that the Justice Department is supposed to be.
Okay, people, you heard what she said, that being that I guess she's saying that the title of that said voter fraud. Please, everyone, watch this video from beginning to end and give it a thumbs up. Okay, because if that's the case, if they have it in the algorithm to pick up keywords, Okay? I mean, that is just going against our First Amendment rights. Not to mention going against our constitutional rights to fraud and give out information about what's going on. So I need everybody to watch this video, pass it along, make other people watch it so like that this video can get a lot of views and the algorithm has to keep pushing it out. And please, by all means, give it a thumbs up. Okay? Keep that in mind, because we can't let these things get away, people. We just can't let these things get away. Now, I say that because obviously Redacted has a very big following, okay? Somewhere in the millions or something like that. Me, I don't, okay? But everybody, whether you're a small channel or a big channel, everybody has the right to put out information that it's important not only to Republicans, but it's also important to Democrats. So like that, Democrats can see and say, you know what, this doesn't sound right. Now they may say they don't want to show it because it's going to sway Democrats from wanting to vote Democrat. Well, you know what? That's what these politics, that's what these election politics are all about. Okay? Pointing out truth to help people make a decision on which party they want to stick with. Do they want to stick with a party that keeps cheating and stopping other people from voting? Or do they want to stick with a party that wants everybody to vote? It's that plain and simple. It is no more different than Donald Trump putting out an ad or Kamala Harris putting out an ad. Okay? But if they're going to be suppressing anything that says voter fraud or voter integrity or whatever the case is, that right there in itself should motivate people more to go out there and really make a decision. How is it that you want to live? You want to live under a dictatorship? Okay? Or do you want to live in a free constitutional republic? Regardless of what you believe in, but you are given the freedom, okay, to choose. Let's continue.
Addressing. Now, just today, the Voter Fraud Division of the Justice Department released a press release saying, we have 94 lawyers, we are on this, we are watching it.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
This is the kind of thing they should be very interested in. So read that press release, watch that segment, read the book, document this. That's what I want to tell you.
Raisinette 35 in our Rumble chat says Lancaster County is Amish country. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in, outside of Philadelphia.
This is the part that I wanted to tell you. Listen to what he says about the Amish community.
In Reading, Pennsylvania, and right near Lancaster, outside of Berks County. And the Amish, this is the first time it looks like they're going to be voting. According to reports, over 80,000 of them are coming out to vote.
You believe that? For the first time, the Amish are coming out to vote. There's over 80,000 of them coming out to vote. Okay? And this is why I think that they are trying to stop Republicans from voting, because they know that with the Amish and the Republicans voting for Trump, it's a wrap in Pennsylvania. It is a total wrap in Pennsylvania. Let's keep going.
And they've got their horses and buggies are covered in Trump flags. I don't know if you've seen these TikToks, but they're covered in Trump flags and American flags, and they don't usually vote in U.S. elections. This is going to be transformative. Maybe this is why they're panicking in Pennsylvania right now. But to Natalie's point, yes, document it, film it.
Exactly.
If you're in PA and you see these people wearing these sort of polling place protection badges, we're here as like watchers. Find out, are they legitimate? Are they an actual poll worker? Are they a legal poll worker? Or are they a Democrat sitting there telling these Republicans to go home? Like this lady, watch.
Do you have her certificate to be a poll watcher?
I don't have to answer you, and you may leave.
No, this is a public place, I don't have to.
Wow, you believe it? She's asking this supposed poll watcher, are you, a legal poll watcher, whatever? She goes, I don't have to answer to you. Lady, if you have anything to do, okay, with an election, you have to answer every damn question that is asked you. You are not allowed to tell people how to vote, okay? You're not allowed to explain certain things that are on the voting sheets, okay? Like if there's an amendment to vote yes or no on it, they're not allowed to explain what the yes or no vote will be. But if somebody asks you a question and say, listen, are you one of these supposed voter watching, whatever police, whatever the hell they are, for her to come out and say, I don't have to answer to you? What does that tell you right there, people? It's all bullshit. It's all a farce, man. This is incredible.
Because I see your tag and
you don't have the right to talk to me. So
This is America and
Wow.
one place, so I have every right to say it to
You don't have the right to
So,
talk
are
to
you
me.
a poll watcher?
Spoken like a true leftist.
For early vote monitoring. Oh, early vote monitoring. Early vote monitoring.
And there they go with the physicalities. Why is it that every time a leftist gets exposed, they have to go and get physical? They have to go and try to lay their hands on somebody. I'm going to throw this in real quick and we'll continue. I don't mean to drag this out. I had a friend of mine. She asked me again not too long ago. She said, "Why don't you go out there with a camera and start interviewing people? And get some live content." This is one of the reasons why. Okay, this is one of the reasons why. I know me. Okay, nobody's gonna put their hands on me. And if I just want to go and have a conversation, and if I see two crowds and I just want to ask, because I do want to do it, I do want to go out there and engage with the people. But if anybody, man or woman, tries to pull one of these stunts and tries to put their hand on me, like I said before, I didn't get this brutally handsome for nothing. Okay? That is one thing that I grew up, you don't put your hands on me, you won't get hurt. And it's like every single time. The left talks about that they're the tolerant ones, but as soon as you go and you confront them just to find something out, right away they want to go and get physical and physically attack you. It's insane with these people. Let's continue.
Do you know the law?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? So then do you know that I'm allowed to videotape you in public?
No, you don't have a right.
Yes, I do. This is public.
I have told you, you do not.
First Amendment, thank you.
Okay, so let me tell you exactly where to go, because today the Justice Department released this press release about their efforts to protect the right to vote, prosecute election fraud, and secure elections. If you see this, sure, send it to Redacted, but we can't fix it for you. Who is supposed to fix it? And again, we have a Justice Department that's run by Democrats that may not be very motivated to fix it, but they're supposed to. That's why they exist. So you're supposed to go to civilrights.justice.gov.
Go look on that.
That's where you go. So you need to be doing this.
Civilrights.justice.gov. Maybe we can put that even up on the screen if we're able to. I don't know. Civilrights.justice.gov. Go ahead, David.
I also wanted to point out that the AG and the FBI started a task force where they're going to make it a criminal offense to harass poll workers, and I don't think that was any mistake that they did that, because they're expecting this and they want to try to stop you with the...
All right, you heard that? The Justice Department wants to make it a crime to go after poll workers. Okay? How quaint is it that these Democrats, and this is why I get so frustrated, but once again, Donald Trump is right when he says that the Democrats, that they're very smart. Not in a good way, but they're very smart. They're so damn wicked and cynical. Okay? They'll go and they'll pass a law, okay, to protect people like that woman, because they know that they're going to be up to no good. So basically they're covering their bases. Okay? Excuse me. It's just like the video I put out a few days ago about that provision that they put in that law in order for the military to get involved with local police departments in case there is a protest or a riot or whatever the case is where they can use deadly force. Always putting in something to back them up, because they know that they're up to no good. That's their goal. That's their plan. So they have to always put something in the mix way before something is going to take place. It's like, why would you even put that out? Okay, because regardless if poll workers are being harassed, okay, that's why you have local law enforcement. Okay, and then it'll just go higher depending on what the problem may be. But to go and say that you cannot harass workers that are working the voting booths, the voting polls, it's almost as if it was a setup already. Okay, and once again, it's not surprising. It's not surprising how this administration, okay, has just done so many draconian communistic things, and then they project it on Donald Trump and his supporters. Unbelievable. Let's continue.
The police now, because I've seen a lot of videos where the police are actually getting involved in rounding people up and moving signs and stuff like that, which they shouldn't really be involved in.
Well, you're one step ahead of me because that's exactly what we're about to show you. So this is at the same location now. Police are putting at 1:45 in the afternoon. This is supposed to be open until 5 p.m. in Pennsylvania.
Unreal.
Governor Josh Shapiro's order that you're allowed to vote until 5 p.m. Why are police then closing these polling locations down with all these Republicans in line? Here, watch.
Question. I have to bring someone here about 4 o'clock to vote. Are they
I'm
gonna?
going to ask you to talk to
Are they
this.
gonna turn everyone down?
I'm going to ask you to talk to this gentleman because the voting is closed right now.
It's closed.
I just want you to talk to this gentleman.
We have the right to
Unreal.
vote until 4:30.
I got you.
Why is it closed?
Let me explain to you.
Please.
Okay. This process is very slow and grueling.
That doesn't matter if we're
Very
online.
slow and grueling.
Doesn't matter if we're online by 4:30. We have the right to
Why it had
vote.
to close was because a high volume of people wanted to do this. It's slow and grueling.
Well, then they
So
have to wait till everyone's out. That,
They had
that
to cut the
doesn't-
line at 1:45.
They cut the line. at
No,
1:45.
that's just totally wrong. That is totally wrong. Listen, in the voting spot that I went to last week, okay, I drove by a couple of times. I mean, the parking lot's always full. I finally decided to go after work. Okay, I got there about 6 o'clock. When I pulled in, now you have everybody at their tables and everybody's, putting have their signs up for whoever you want to vote for, whether it's a Democrat, Republican, whatever the case is. Everything was peaceful. When I pulled up, I asked them, I said, where can I park? And they were like, you can pretty much park anywhere. Everybody's is going so fast. You're going to be able to find a parking spot easily. I said, how long does it take? He said about 10 minutes. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, about 10 minutes. So I park my truck, I go inside. I must have been like the 15th person online. Okay, something like that, 10th or 15th or something. As I was standing there, within a minute or two, a bunch of people, they walked them out, they escorted them out. The guy stood at the door, he let in a bunch of people, okay, and basically I was next on line, so he stopped the line at me. Within, 5 minutes, if that, those people started walking out again. They let me in with a bunch of other people. It took me like an extra 5, 6, 7 minutes to fill out my ballot, drop it in, get a sticker, and gone. That was it. This whole thing about that is long and it's grueling. No, it's long and it's grueling because you see how many people are turning out to vote. And this is wrong. And this is where the governor, the mayor, whoever's in charge of what's going on needs to tell all these voting places, if you're open to 5:30, do not stop that line from moving. Okay? And I'm going to have to rank on this cop. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do it. Because out of all people, this cop took an oath, okay, to uphold the laws of the Constitution. Okay? And for him to stand there and come out and be given words to say that, oh, it's long and it's grueling and this is why they have to do it. No, that's not a good enough excuse. Let these people go in there and vote. Okay? If the line is still long after 5:30, then fine. Then you have the basis to say, you know what? Well, you're going to have to come back tomorrow. But until then, okay, you got to let these people vote. You just can't stop it because on the inside you're saying the line is long and grueling. It's a long and grueling process. I'm telling you, they are trying to steal Pennsylvania. Let's continue.
1:45.
You hear that, everyone? They cut the line at 1:45. This is voter fraud, by the way. Who is not?
It is voter fraud.
You have the right to vote until 5 p.m. They cut the line at 1:45. They put up these little, stands there.
They have the right to cut the line at the closing time. If
Unreal.
they're in line by 4:30, right?
so-
They don't have the right to say we can't
But they're
process
but they're
these
setting
people
up
until 4:30.
But they're setting up these things at 1:45,
Yeah.
and they're putting these things back, all these like little, metal stands up way back, so that you can't vote. I even saw someone here in our chat. Just thank you for your $5 super chat. In Bucks County says yes, they are closing these polling locations early. I live in Bucks County. I think it was Andrea said. So they are closing this down. It's unbelievable, and as SM says here in our chat, it's criminal. But what if in Pennsylvania, it goes beyond that? I mean, there's some real shady stuff happening in Pennsylvania. What if in Pennsylvania, suddenly a bus pulls up full of illegal immigrants?
Oh yeah, now this blew my mind. And this is, This is why so many people on the right are saying, and I've made tons of video, they are trying to get illegal. That's why they're letting in so many illegals into this country, because they need the votes. Okay? I guarantee you, people, if the Democrats played it straight, if they played it straight with nothing nefarious, they will hardly ever win an election. Be it the presidency, to be mayor, governor, I guarantee you, if they played it straight, they hardly will ever win. Check this out.
Gets out to vote and cuts the line. You're in line for an hour, 2 hours, and if a bus of illegal immigrants shows up and then gets in front of you, yes, this is happening in Pennsylvania. Friend of the show, Ann Vandersteel, posted this during her newscast today from Pennsylvania. Watch.
No, they had these people, they had about 12 of them walked in, they were all foreigners, and then they took them up, these younger people helped them to fill out they say vote PA today, and then they took them up, and somehow they beat a 2-hour line, and then they walked up, and the one lady, they were even asking her, they're like, we don't have you in the system, your name's not right, and they're like, oh, well, we'll take it back and change it. Yeah. How do you change your damn name?
Wow.
Well, thank you.
Oh, like this is happening in Pennsylvania, folks. So if you see a butt,
and you know, this is just so damn criminal. This is so damn criminal, man. And what really kills me is that if all this is true and those people standing there that they're showing are illegal immigrants, where do they think that they can go into a country and vote? As if they don't know what voting is. They all know what voting is. And yet they're going to go there and say, you know what, well, we're going to vote too. You know for a fact you're not a citizen. Why would you even think that it's okay? And if you ask me, it's because they got paid. Somebody paid them. And this is what the Democrats do. These are not Republicans busing in illegals to vote. Why isn't anybody out there stopping this? Why isn't this all over the news? Why isn't the Supreme Court stepping in, or whoever it is to step in and say, you know what, no, this is not right. We cannot have this. Meanwhile, the Democrats are saying, no, you got it all wrong. We're not letting the illegals in so like that they can vote and keep the Democrats in power. Really? Really? I mean, it's insane. I mean, this is just, it's so asinine at this point. Okay, and they wonder why so many people get so upset. But yet, they keep coming out and once again, they project onto the Republicans. They project onto Donald Trump. They project onto his supporters. Saying that we're the ones that are corrupt. Okay? And it's like, but look at what you're doing, and you don't even say anything about it. You don't even have the damn decency to come out and say, you know what, wait a minute. Regardless of the situation, since we believe in democracy, no, we should not have illegals voting. Where are the Democrats that truly care about democracy talking about this situation, say, wait a minute, that's not right. It's not fair. You won't find them. Okay? Because this is what they want. And out of all places in Pennsylvania, knowing very well that this is what Kamala Harris, this is the state that Kamala Harris needs to win. Okay? Now, I'm going to leave the link to the description of Redacted so you guys can watch the rest, because it's only like a 15-minute clip, but it's actually part of an hour-long clip or something to that effect. So I'll leave a link in the description for sake of time. And this is the next video that I want to show you, okay? All this coming out, you cannot tell me that they are trying to steal Pennsylvania for Kamala Harris. And I'll show you the next video clip why. Here we go. This was put out yesterday. Okay, so like that, nobody thinks that, you know, it's some nefarious YouTube channel. This was put out by the New York Post. This is their channel. Okay, they got 1.6 million subscribers. This is a 41-second clip. It says right here, ABC station mistakenly airs election results declaring Harris the winner of key swing state. Which state? Pennsylvania. Check this out. It says ABC mistakenly airs election results declaring Harris winner of key swing state. This is out by the New York Post. ABC ignited a flurry of conspiracy theories after it aired what appeared to be official election results for Pennsylvania. That showed Kamala Harris easily winning the key swing state more than a week before Election Day. And I know what you're probably all wondering, what did they do? If you haven't seen it, you're going to see exactly what they did. Check this out. This was during one of the, I don't know what race this was. It was, it says the shocking result popped up at the bottom of the screen during the October 27th broadcast of the Formula One Mexico Grand Prix by ABC local affiliates WNEP-TV. Look it down here at the bottom. This popped up at the bottom while they were showing this Formula One race. It says Harris 52%, reporting of 100%, Trump 47%. With Harris having the check mark saying that she won the state of Pennsylvania. This is like everywhere now, all over. On the news, social media, people are talking about it. Whereas whoever was in charge is saying, no, that was a mistake, they were doing some testing. It's like, what testing were you doing that you had to throw that ticker down at the bottom? And if you were just testing, why did you put down that Harris was winning? Think about that. But now you look at everything that's going on in Pennsylvania, the way they're trying to stop Republicans from voting, okay, the way they're busing in illegals, and then this pops up over the weekend? Tell me I'm looking at all this wrong, people. Tell me the Democrats are not trying to steal the election without telling me the Democrats are not trying to steal the election. It said it showed the vice president capturing 52% of the votes compared to 47% for Republican challenger Donald Trump with 100% of the precincts reporting. WNEP-TV said that the results came up on the screen in error and that they had been randomly generated as part of a test ahead of the November 5th election. Has anybody ever heard of anything like this? Because I've never heard of it. Okay? I've never heard of it. Now, is it possible that they're trying to, run some kind of algorithm? Yeah, it is possible. Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're running some sort of algorithm. But why does the algorithm have to be so biased? Keep those numbers in mind, people. Okay? Out of all the states that need to be watched on Election Day, Pennsylvania definitely needs to be watched. Let's finish this off. It said in the 2020 election, Joe Biden eked out a victory in Pennsylvania by the narrowest of margins, beating Trump by 80,555 votes, or 1.17%. Okay? Now check this out. If anybody was paying attention, and I'm sure you all have, what does this number right here have to do with anything? Because in 2020, Biden was able to win by that many votes. Fast forward 4 years later, you have more people on the left leaving to vote for the Republicans, right? That's number one. Number two, okay, and I'm talking about in Pennsylvania. Number two, who is going to be part of the voter base now in Pennsylvania? You just heard it on Redacted. That's right, the Amish community. And what did he say? How many Amish are voting, have registered? 80,000. Think about that. So that means that if Biden won by 80,000, okay, by all intensive purposes, it's not even a question right now. That means that right now, as we speak, Donald Trump has, even before voting has started, Donald Trump has won Pennsylvania. Just with the vote of the Amish. Think about that, people. Okay? Because like they like to say on the left that, they like to throw that slang around, whatever, You know, I'm not saying it's just on the left. I mean, people on the right too. But you know the old saying, the math ain't mathing. Okay? So now you're stopping regular Republicans from voting in Pennsylvania. You're shutting down the voting polls early. Okay? You've got an extra 80,000, okay, that are going to vote for Trump, hands down. And the Amish community, when they stick together, they're going to stick together. So the best you can do is shut down the voting polls and start busting in illegal immigrants. And you want to go and tell people that voting is secure? Now it's secure for what you're doing, okay? But every time you lose, you'll come out and say that the election was stolen. So what should we, as people from the outside looking in, how do we interpret all this that's going on in Pennsylvania? The only way I could interpret it, okay, is that the Democrats are up to no good. Plain and simple. Okay, plain and simple. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. Also, I'll be leaving a link to the redacted video. So go on their channel, show them some love. And I'll be leaving the link to Loza Alexander's Gifts and Go campaign. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Keep praying for this country. Pray for your enemies. Pray for Donald Trump. And don't forget to get out there and vote. Peace.